Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Beat Bill here today, and as you can see, I was feeling really green today. I've done blue, I've done purple, I've done pink, and I think I've done a yellow, but I've never done green. So I was just really interested to see what it would look like on my skin. So anyway, I had a lot of fun today doing this look. I hope you keep on watching. If you want to see more details or just want to see what all I had to use today, please continue watching, subscribe, thumbs up, and follow me on all of my social media outlets. Thanks guys, bye. Okay, so I already did my eyebrows off camera, so we're going to jump straight into the eyeshadow. First, I'm pretty much setting that concealer and my primer. I'm using the lightest shade in the Nubian palette from Juvia's Place. And I'm just making sure I'm going right underneath that brow. And just make sure I'm setting the concealer, setting the primer, so I know that I'll have a pretty clean, smooth surface once I get started. And just make sure all your eyeshadow is nice and even. There's no gaps. You don't see any issues. And just make it nice and smooth and make sure it's blended well. And once again, there I'm going in with my extra blending. Blending is key. Now I was using, I believe that was Swiss Chocolate and Saddle by MAC. And you just want to make sure you have that right in your crease. And it's going to help with the transition color. It's going to make sure that everything is nice and blended. You don't want to have a lot of different shades going on. Also, I'm using the Morphe M441 brush, I believe, and I'm going to use that brush quite a bit in the video, so just make sure you keep it nice and handy as you're doing the tutorial with me. Next, I decided to take that same brush, and I'm using Teal by Coastal Scents. It's one of their single eyeshadows, and I'm just putting that right below those two crease colors, that Swiss Chocolate and Saddle color that you see in the crease. I'm just making sure I'm going right underneath it and just make sure it's nice and blended. As you can see, I wanted to build a little bit more color, so I'm just going to pat my brush in there, and then once I'm satisfied with the payoff of the color, I'm just going to blend it and make sure everything is going nice and smooth. And feel free, you can take your time. You just want to make sure blending is key. Blend as much as possible. Blend, 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 and blend some more. Blending. And we're blending. And we're blending. No, but seriously, when you blend your eyeshadow, it's just going to make you look really flawless. And it'll just make sure everything is okay. Nothing's looking too crazy. No lines are everywhere. You don't want to see 3 different lines from where the brow color is, the crease color is, the lower crease color. You just don't want to have that. Next, I went back and used that Morphe M441 brush just to soften up that line between the green and the saddle color. And I'm just making sure I'm blending it. I really want that transition to be as soft as possible. And as you can see, I did not add any more product on the brush. I'm just blending. I blend quite a lot on my shadows. Okay, so next I am using Zodiac. This is one of the single eyeshadow colors from Urban Decay. I will say that this shadow is extremely glittery, so make sure you're really careful when you're putting it on to your eyes. As you can see, I'm trying to use the same brush in between my applications. I just make sure I clean it with alcohol and a clean paper towel, and that's just so I'm not transferring product when I'm going in between those different colors and those different areas. Now with this one, with it being glittery, you can kind of just be careful, but you can add more color. So right there, I just really wanted to add a little bit more color, a little bit more pizzazz to it. So I just decided to go back in and add a little bit more. So my camera went a little crazy on me, so I missed the initial application of this shadow. But this is the color Mally from Juvia's Place latest palette called the Masquerade palette. And I believe I'm using the flat brush from Morphe. It's the 170 110 brush. And I'm just slowly packing it on. The good thing about this palette, it is very, very, very creamy. And it's able to make sure you're getting a lot of product on your eye. And there I go again, just making sure I have enough color, everything is nice and blended, and it's nice and bright. I really wanted this color to pop this time. And there I go again. This is like a lot of packing, Chelsea. But can you blame me? We like color. Okay, so now I went back in with that same brush I used for Zodiac, and I did not add any product, nor did I take any away, but I'm just blending that line between Zodiac and Mally. This is just once again to make sure your colors are nice and blended. You want everything to flow. You don't want any separation between your eyeshadows. So just blend, blend, blend. Okay, so at this point, I believe I'm doing liner. Yes, I used Inglot liner. I hope I said that correctly. It's their black liner. I believe the number is in 77. And basically, the easiest thing to do when it comes to your liner, make sure you focus on your lid first so you can determine the thickness of the liner. Next, I'm just building it, just slowly seeing how thick I want that liner to be. The next phase, you will kind of see I already started working on my wing. So right there, as you can see, I pretty much already had my wing together. My camera, once again, went crazy on me. But on the next tutorial, I will have a wing tutorial coming up. Because that was just like such a good wing day. I actually was thanking the Lord for it. But really good. And there you have it. That pretty much is the gist of the eye. I'm just doing some little detail work, and I'm going to come back and have my eyelashes on, and I'll have a completed face at the end. And there's your eye, nice and smoky and cute. And that pretty much was the final look after I did my foundation and highlighting contour. Thanks for looking at my video. I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.